Welcome to All Things Transformers. I'm your host, Steve Megatron, and joining me on this adventure into the Transformers fandom is TFG1 Mike.
Where's my Hot Rodimus cosplay?
That'll come up later.
Yes, it will.
So, there's, funny enough, there was a bunch of stuff that kind of dropped between yesterday and today, and a lot of commentary going back and forth. So without further ado, we're going to jump into the first look at Transformers EarthSpark animated series by Nickelodeon.
Yep.
And they revealed the new logo, which everything that has Nickelodeon on it has some kind of a weird, background thing. And then the Nickelodeon logo and then some kind of a 3D logo, like how they did with TMNT and some of the other stuff. So it's got Transformers in the normal font with a little bit of interesting texturing on the Transformers logo. Yeah. And then EarthSpark, which it's basically like a blue white gradient with like kind of a black gradient that's beveled. And I could duplicate that fairly easily.
Yeah, and you know what it also has that I'm seeing here, and maybe my blindness is just it's outlined. It's blacklit in purple. I can see the purple edges.
Yes. Yep.
Love it. Absolutely love it. No, I think it's cool because, again, Transformers EarthSpark, I understand it's Nickelodeon. They want their name on it. Fine, whatever. But if their name wasn't there, it would look even better because it's basically the Earth like rising up or doing its orbit thing or whatever, So not a bad logo.
No. So a couple of interesting things with this first image that they have, and we're pulling our info from TFW 2005. And they've issued a few stills and a brief clip from the upcoming animated series. They said that the show will hit globally this fall. With this image, they show Elita 1 and Optimus Prime. Elita and more of the robots that are shown in this preview have like this particular almost Transformers Prime-esque eye lighting glow feature that they've got in the eyes. And then the CGI kind of reminds me of like a mixture of the Machinima series with like almost like a Rescue Bots vibe.
It's kind of like they took Prime, gave him a little bit more light piping, and then took Rescue Bots for the humans, which isn't a bad thing at all to me.
I'm honestly happy to see this visual direction. And what I like about some of the designs are they're not. You can almost look at them and see how they transform just based on how they are, because like their shoulder pads and some of the they don't fill in every gap. Right. Like they do for some of the other stuff. And it's definitely got, I've read things that this is kind of following that evergreen design content that they've been kind of putting out with the figures for a little bit for the kids. And I don't hate the designs. They finally brought Prime's faceplate back, which is a welcome addition.
Yes.
I know War for Cybertron had it and the Machinima series had it, but as far as the other series, they have not. Right. But I definitely like the colors. I love the brightness of it, that it's not a dark series. I haven't heard any of them speak outside of the humans. So I'm waiting to see who's cast as what they're doing, how, obviously people are ecstatic because the pacing can't possibly be as bad as War for Cybertron. And
true.
Because it's got to be faster. Kids won't pay attention to it. Yeah. And so I love the details. I love all of that. What I find interesting is their Autobot logos on their shoulders. Have you had a chance to look at that yet?
Yes,
it's got some kind of a menacing, almost like and this is kind of pulling back to Generation 1. They have the Autobot logo, but it's very tiny at the bottom of these things that are kind of reminiscent of when Optimus Prime during the Hate Plague episode went into the Matrix and went all the way back to the beginning. And you saw that little kind of the cybernetic outline of a robot, and it kind of is reminiscent of that.
Yeah.
And I'm almost wondering if it has to do with something with the Quintessons. some kind of a combined race of the Transformers before before the splintering.
Yeah.
But it's that aspect's kind of interesting to me. The other thing is Nick Roche tweeted that he's been working on the art design of the show.
Yes, and that is an awesome thing. I am so happy for Nick. Nick did Last Stand of the Wreckers. He did the entire Wreckers trilogy, Last Stand, Sins, and Requiem of the Wreckers. But Last Stand of the Wreckers is one of the greatest Transformer stories of all time. Amazing dude. I actually, when we were doing the comic Last Stand of the Wreckers over on the Pull Bag, because Springer is one of the main bots in that, he's actually the leader of the Wreckers, I went and basically wrote down some lines that Springer says, and I don't do this often. I very rarely will do this, but I wrote the lines down because I wanted to have them in Springer's voice in the podcast. I emailed it to Neil Ross and I said, hey, Mr. Neil Ross, sir, I know you're super busy, but if you could record these as Springer or let me record you saying these as Springer, that would be amazing. A week later, Neil Ross sends me this audio and I send it to Nick, and I forget what Nick's email said to me, but he's like, thank you so much, because that was just an ultimate thrill for him to have the guy who originally did the voice for Springer say the stuff that he wrote down. That was awesome. So I'm so happy that Nick is attached to this series.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm happy about it as well. I'm also reading a little bit of the brief description of the show, including the amount of the episodes that came out from Animation Magazine website. It says Transformers EarthSpark from Nickelodeon and Hasbro's Entertainment One, launching globally in fall 2022. This 26 episode action comedy series introduces a new generation of Transformers robots, the first Transformers robots to be born on Earth. Together with the human family who welcomes them in and cares for them, they'll redefine what it means to be a family. And so they very much look like protoforms initially, cool. And then they scan in the video there.
Yeah.
So they're kind of blend. It says that the Transformers EarthSpark will blend the humor and heart of Nickelodeon with the action and high stakes adventures of Transformers. Set in a present day Earth, the series centers on two human kids as they forge a connection with the Transformers like never before and work alongside fan favorites like Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Elita 1. This animated series is comedic, heartfelt, high energy, and action packed, featuring new characters and stars a diverse, multicultural human family reflecting the current world we live in. And it's executive produced by people from Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Rescue Bots, and the Nickelodeon studio. So I think like definitely the animation strikes me better than Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but it definitely kind of feels like the vibe of the other TMNT 2012.
Yeah, like I said, it to me it looks like what the very brief thing we saw of it. It's like they're combining not the full 3D style of Prime, but they're, combining Prime and Rescue Bots, and that's not a bad thing. So,
nope. And so I wonder if this is going to be on Paramount Plus.
I would assume so.
I would assume so, because doesn't NBC or Comcast own Nintendo, or not Nintendo, Nickelodeon? I don't know why I keep saying Nintendo.
Why do you have Nintendo on the brain?
I don't know. It just looks like Nintendo when I see it, or Nickelback, but I can't decide which.
I watch it.
So anyways, I think it's going to be on. Yeah, it's going to be on Paramount Plus as well as Nickelodeon. So that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Very cool.
So yeah, it looks to be interesting. I look forward to seeing more about how this turns out and kind of where they go with it, since it's definitely in a new realm of creation there.
Yeah, I want to see a longer trailer. I mean, yes. Like literally when this first popped up the day we're recording this, I saw it on Instagram and I copied the Instagram link to share on All Things Transformers pages and other pages that we manage, for the network. But the clip was like so small. And I'm like, yeah, next time I just want to, if it's not coming out until later this fall, sometime this summer, I want maybe a minute and 15-second trailer, just something a little bit longer than that little Instagram clip was. So, yeah. Up next, we've got Transformers Prime Season 2 episodes are now available on the Transformers YouTube channel. So that's cool.
Yep. I'm happy about that because I haven't seen some of it in a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And debuting, folks, March 25th, Transformers BotBots, the new hottest. It's the new hotness in Transformers, folks.
I would rather watch War for Cybertron on repeat for a week straight than watch even one episode of this. Yeah. So just when we're still talking about the Nickelodeon cartoon.
Yeah.
This is Netflix, and they showed their slate, and they're coming out with like season 2 of the new He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and they show this off with the Netflix family, and it's from Boulder Media and Netflix, and yeah, this cartoon is scheduled for March 25th, and nothing outside of the graphic. And looking at it, it's CalArt style. It's going to be like Thundercats Go, I think. It's going to suck.
What he means, folks, is Thundercats Roar, which did suck.
Yes, that's what I mean. And so I'm of the opinion this is gonna both suck and blow, and it's gonna be stupid. And watching the distaste for just this image alone on AllSpark was hilarious. Yeah. People were having like I threw the dumpster fire thing in there.
Yep.
And what was it? Somebody put what was it that they put? It was something making fun of like one of those memes going, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
And people were not pleased. It had, there it was. It was like a Family Guy thing, and it shows it shows like Noah on the ark, and it has an elephant and a penguin, and then he says he goes, hey, and then they're like, yep, and he's like, what the heck is this? And it's a penguin with an elephant head.
Oh God.
I'm like,
talking about the island of misfit toys.
Yeah, because this guy's like, I'm gonna be honest, and he posts that.
Yeah, and I don't like CalArt style. It's not my thing.
I don't like it either.
I would much prefer something to what EarthSpark is, or something to what traditional.
At least if it's going to be stupid looking, give it like Robots in Disguise 1999, 2001, or whatever, or Armada, where they did like the cheesy face thing going on. Like, this is just no. I mean,
like I said, I'm not a fan of CalArt style, but I've seen CalArt style stuff that looks 1,000 times better than this, and I'm not a fan of the style.
Well, this is like that universe of Gumbo or Steven
Universe of Gumball. Yeah.
See, I don't even care. Like those shows all suck in my opinion. So I just based on the visuals, like I can't get past it. I'm sure there are people that appreciate it and like it. I just give me some real 2D animation, please.
Yes. All right, folks, we need to have a moment of silence because it seems like Hasbro has said goodbye to Michael Bay, because Transformers Rise of the Beasts is going to be the first film in a new trilogy of films. Obviously, technically, it's the second film since Bumblebee is the new hotness. So, yeah, but apparently this is the first in the next 3 films kind of thing. So,
yeah, I don't know. I feel bad about it, but I'm very torn.
Okay, look, we had 2007 to when did Last Night come out? 2014. Okay, for 7 years we had Michael Bay movies throughout that time. Okay, Dark of the Moon is still my hot because what I used to do, folks, is I used to take our little podcasts here and I used to put pictures and stuff behind them and whatever, and throw them up on my YouTube channel. Our Dark of the Moon discussion from 2011 or whatever the hell that was is still my highest viewed video at like over 100,000 views. It's the highest thing I'll ever do anywhere. But it's one of those things where we had 7 years and 5 films of Michael Bay stuff. Bumblebee is a new start. It still has the Michael Bay designs and style and whatever, but it was written completely different by completely different writers that are not Corsi and Ertzman or Ertzman and Corsi or whatever the hell they're called.
Kurtzman and Orsi.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Kurtzman is attached to the Star Trek franchise now, ruining that now too. So,
well, that's the other news. That's for an all things Star Trek episode of whatever. But fourth Star Trek film finally happening! Yay! Anyway,
yeah, we'll talk about that somewhere else.
Yeah. So, but it's one of those things where, like, we had 7 years of Michael Bay's stuff, of him, doing his director thing and controlling everything and doing all of that, even in the middle of a writer's strike as well. So 7 years and 4 out of the 5 films are horrible. That first film, it's bad, but almost, what is this, 2022, 15 years later, I look at that movie and I think, without that movie, Transformers would not, yes, it's bad. It's bad writing. It's bad dialogue. It's whatever. But without that movie, Transformers as a brand would not be where it is today without the 2007 film.
And don't get me wrong, the 2007 film, it wasn't bad. I didn't mind it at all. Like, I actually enjoyed that one. It's as it went down the line, it progressively got worse.
Yeah.
I rewatched the second one the other day just because it was on a streaming service, and I was like, "Yep, it's as bad as I remember it." and I was skimming through it, and I just could not. I just could not enjoy it.
I own the bundle pack on Vudu, so I own all 7 films that have been, or 6, whatever. Bumblebee plus the other 5. I guess that's whatever. Anyway, I can't do math, especially after whatever time it is. Anyway, so I have them all. I just haven't, because I want to go into them with a fresh look for when we eventually do the podcast episodes for them. So I have not watched. I've seen clips here and there, but like, I have not watched any of those movies since we originally reviewed them. And I don't even think we ended up reviewing The Last Night at all. If we did, we mentioned it in I know we did not give it a full episodic review like we did the original film, Revenge of the Fallen, Dark of the Moon, and I'm not even sure if we did Age of Extinction either. Anyway, it is what it is. But yes, Rise of the Beasts is announced as the first movie of a new trilogy. So we have that. And then, folks, we get to scratch our heads because Steve and I are so not in this universe. So we need help understanding. So
this is kind of along those, like, the Kiss Play Transformers in a sense. The sculpt and design reveal of the Kotobukiya series Transformers Convoy and Megatron.
Oh, they're statues. Okay.
Yeah. They don't transform.
No, and that's fine.
They're stylized, but they changed them to be female.
Right. I get it now. At first, when I first saw the picture, I thought that Kotobukiya was trying to do actual, like, how you can buy this Halloween costume for your kids, kind of like, or your whatever. Like, that's what I thought it was. I didn't realize it was going to be a statuesque figure. Okay. I'm on track now. But
I mean, it's interesting, and it is officially licensed by Hasbro.
Yep.
And Takara or Tomy.
Yeah.
I don't even see Takara. I think Tomy is Takara, but yeah, it's odd. I don't get the appeal of these. So I guess I'm just
okay.
Again, I'm confused. I'm not knocking people that like them, but
yeah.
I don't understand it.
Okay, it's a whole anime thing as far as and again, if we are wrong in anything that we are saying, folks, come to us privately, message us. You can find me on Twitter or Facebook or wherever you need to find me. As I'm scrolling down looking through these images, I'm not a fan of the Optimus Prime statue, but I like how they did a certain thing. So her briefcase is the trailer. I didn't notice that at first.
Well, the necklace is the Matrix too.
Yeah, I did notice that. I noticed the necklace. Yeah, it's kind of hard not to notice the necklace, considering. Anyway, and I do like that the Megatron one has a tie with a Decepticon logo on it. That's hilarious. I don't know. I can kind of see why people would like this stuff if they are into this sort of thing, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, what's next? Next up, we got the rumor of the Lego Optimus Prime coming soon. Sure, Lego Optimus Prime.
I am. It's kind of interesting because Lego is reporting the company may soon be releasing an Optimus Prime set, and the details are that it will be fully transformable without disassembling, as well as it including a weapon jetpack and information plaque. And it will cost reportedly 192 American dollars, consist of 1,508 pieces, and will be released in May of this year. And the speculation is that it'll be based on his appearance in the upcoming Rise of the Beasts film. And also of note is that due to the film's delay to 2023, it could delay this. It's a grain of salt rumor, but it looks to be that Transformers is going to be licensed by Lego, which honestly is kind of cool because they had the what were they called? The Creo?
Yep.
Years ago. And so we had the Creo figures out, and they were like Lego light.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind that, but I'm kind of more intrigued because it is actual Lego.
Yeah. As Starscream descends upon my apartment complex. Yeah, no, I think that is really super cool. I think it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how and when they do it. Yeah, very cool. Up next, we have the Transformers Optimus Prime and Megatron fine art prints.
These look awesome.
Yeah, by Sideshow Images. They look awesome, but I wish that they were, like, I get it, they're the G1 profiles, and that's cool, but I don't know, I wish it was... I don't know. It's nothing against the art at all. Like Orlando Arcosina? I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your last name, sir. But Orlando, as an artist, this is the first time I've even hearing of him. I like the way he has drawn the characters.
Honestly, I would love to see a Transformers series in this aesthetic.
Yeah.
My cat's agreeing with me.
Yeah, I can agree with that too. That would be awesome.
It would be cool with a cat. Yep.
Yep. I don't know. I just like if this was instead of two separate prints, if this was put together as one print, like how they, we've seen images all the time of, Optimus and Megatron or Rodimus and Galvatron where their faces are like this, but they're spliced together to make it look like it's one thing. I think that would be a little cooler in my personal opinion, but overall, it's not a bad thing. Sadly, we just don't know what the prices are yet.
No.
And then we have Core Class Hot Rod has been found at U.S. retail. So yeah, go out and get your Core Class Hot Rods, everybody. This is the first time I've actually seen him in package, and he looks pretty cool.
Well, and he is tiny. There's a lot of kibble, and he's got like a hollow head in the back.
Yeah,
from what I've seen.
Yeah,
but that's not necessarily a detractor. Like my kids think he's cool looking. I mean, granted, you can get the Studio Series 86 for about $10 more, I think, or what is it? Is it $10 more? Is he 20? Maybe he was 30.
I don't remember.
He was closer to 30. I don't know. Either way, like if you just don't want a giant, a decent sized, show accurate hot rod, this is the way to go. It's not terrible, to be honest. Like if like my oldest prefers these Core Class Legend size basic figures over the other ones, right? And I can't say I blame him. I kind of prefer it to some degree too. And I would consider this if this was one of the ones on my bucket list.
Yep. And then last up, we have Jada Toys Transformers RC converting G1 Optimus Prime has been revealed, hot on the heel of the recent reveal of some new die-cast figurines by Jada Toys this 2022. Now we can share for your images of new Transformers RC converting G1 Optimus Prime. So, hey, folks, if you don't have or you don't want to spend $700, here you go. The official Jada.
This is very cool, to be honest. Like,
yes, it is. Yeah.
Yes, it's not show accurate by any means compared to the other one.
No.
But if you're wanting a transformable Prime, it's super cool.
It's okay. So this, just looking at the image of it here, it's your standard. I don't want to say it's deformed, but it's the standard Optimus Prime like alt mode. It's the standard regular truck mode that we've had for years now, when he's just his truck and we don't have a trailer with him. One of the reasons why I started talking about this story was because I actually have something from Jada Toys. It is the Batmobile and Batman from BTAS. It is a die-cast figurine it's a little Batman figurine with the Batmobile, and I have not opened it. I don't know if I'm going to open it because they actually have a, how Transformers does the backgrounds with like Commander Rodimus and all that. It has a background of Gotham City in here. So this is the first thing I've ever had from Jada Toys, and I absolutely love it. I almost want to open it now that I'm holding it in my hand again, but I'm probably not going to. So yeah, I mean, this is cool. This is, again, not everyone has and not everyone should spend $700 on an Optimus Prime. And they have other ones. They have Bumblebee. They have, other things for that as well. So, but yeah, very, very cool, very interesting, very awesome.
Yeah, I'm definitely a fan.
Yeah, it's a cool thing because again, you're trying, it's Hasbro licensing out Optimus Prime to another company, a company who, just from my experience with them, is really, really good with these, die-cast type things. And I don't think the RC remote-controlled Optimus Prime is die-cast, but it's just a part of what Jada Toys does, and very, very cool. We got a new show coming this fall, so at least now we know what's going on in that portion of Transformers. We've got the comics still coming out. We've got all the toys that are out or that are showing up now, and 2022 ain't as boring as I thought it was going to be for Transformers. Like literally, I said this the last episode. I know I'm repeating myself, folks, but at the end of last year, I thought Transformers was just going to fade away until 2023 when we get Rise of the Beasts. But no, we get all this cool stuff now.
Not to mention there's a bunch of the new toys coming out, but
that's what, yeah, I said that. Yeah.
Yeah. Not just the shows, but yeah.
Right, yeah.
I just want to see more of it.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier is I want to see an actual like a 1 minute 15 second, 1 minute 30 second like a trailer, not just the Instagram story whatever thing. I think that's all I got.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I don't think we have really anything else Transformers related at this juncture. Anyway.
Nope.
Other than I've been seeing the new or the old and the new Tigatron together in stores. I have seen reports that Rat Trap has been going for dirt cheap though.
Oh, really?
If you can find them.
Yeah.
Like the Walmarts around me, the lowest he got was I think 14.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, that's not too terrible. And Cheetor still got his high, like stayed at around like 17, but he was gone like ages ago.
Yeah.
And then we got like Primal. Depending on where you go, like if you check their website, you can get the reissue Primal for about 32. But if you go in the store, it's still 50.
Oh,
which is weird. Megatron, on the other hand, he's still 50. It doesn't matter where you go. And then one of my good friends on Twitter told me, he's like, I just saw Rat Trap for $5 and they had a bunch of them. And I was like, okay. And he's going to actually let me know and hook me up with one. Cause like my son broke the ball joint spot on his OG Rat Trap.
Oh no.
And well, you know, where the limb attaches to the ball joint.
Yep.
Yeah. It's shattered. And I tried to repair it, and I'm like, "Yep, it's done." So I need to replace a leg joint, and it's cheaper to buy the reissue and attach that than to deal with it the other way. And so I'm probably going to cobble some of the joints of the old one into the new one, and I've custom painted it.
Wow.
So yeah, because my youngest was like, I want it to look like the show and not like this. And I'm like, well, I get it. Like,
give me $50, kid.
Yeah, give me $50. Yeah, he's got it, but yeah. So I'm looking at that, but I've seen other reports where he's gone as low as like $2. And then they've had shelves and shelves of him.
Interesting.
Which is insane.
Yeah, that is insane.
So yeah, I think that's about it. I'm hoping to do some progress photos and information on my custom Megatron as soon as I get some of it taken apart. I'm trying to figure out, because there's one thing I've noticed about Galvatron. This figure anyway, there's a ton, and I mean a ton, of the joints where they're basically not double-sided pins.
Right.
They're ones that are one-sided, and then they like butt up against plastic.
Yeah.
So like basically you're unable to remove them. Like they've got a lot of tiny screws, but then they've got these little ball joint things, or not ball joints, but these one-sided pins on one side, and there's not really a good way to get them out, because I need to remove some of the Galvatron kibble, and it's not fun. So
I can imagine it wouldn't be.
No. So anyways, that's all I got this juncture, but I'm hoping in the future to get some other stuff going.
Very cool. Very cool.
Anything else you got going on in the Transformers world?
I mean, if somebody has a shack on Cybertron I can go live in, that'd be great. But, it is what it is. No, I don't think I have anything else to my knowledge so far. As we're recording this, we're recording it in the middle of Funko Fair. And so far, none of the announcements include any new Transformers Funko Pops to my knowledge. And yeah, that's all I got.
Alrighty, so until next time, transform and transcend.
Yeah.